see the storage market is going to, whether it's a recession or whether there is no recession, the storage market is not going to shrink. People are out of jobs, they will still send emails. People are working, they will still take photographs. So there is no doubt about the fact that the basic data market is not going to stop growing. I think the real challenge is in figuring out how to manage it with the right. So data management is a bigger challenge and not just the basic fact about data flows. So NAS used to be a standalone individual technology in itself a couple of years back. NAS and SAN. Then interesting concepts like unified storage started coming in. People started mixing up NAS and SAN. But today, think of basic NAS as just a service. So let's say you have block data coming in from, say, Exchange. You have information coming in from SQL. And then you also have a few files coming in from a file server. You have a print server. These are services. So NAS is typically just an NFS or a CIFS service which is used to connect and transfer data from Windows, Linux and Unix machines. So there is no separate approach to handling NAS. It's a service, and almost all storage systems, at least from our side, provide that as an option. If you need it, you can turn it on. If you don't need it, just leave it out and have a separate solution. Think of NAS like something you need. A file server is a NAS, and everybody has one. So big data is a very interesting thing that customers have started talking about today. I think some of the hype is coming from the fact what Walmart and what Googles of the world are able to do with big data. But we have to understand that there are two different kinds of problems. Data warehousing problem is not the same as a big data problem. So if you've got a lot of information which is sitting in beautifully structured databases, you don't really have a big data challenge. What you're looking at is a data warehousing challenge. You have a database that you've got to handle. Something like a Dell SAP HANA appliance is designed to handle a situation like that. It's a data warehouse. It is a lot of data, but a lot of data does not by default mean it is a big data challenge. On the other hand, you could have a scenario where you have a lot of mixed information. You have spreadsheets, you have Word documents, you have PDF files, you have videos, you have images, you could have graphics. And then on top of that, you also have some structured databases. When you have a real mixed up situation with the data and it is growing at a crazy space, that is what is by default the definition of big data. And of course, the solutions that run with big data are very different as compared to what is used to handle transactional databases and what was a structured database in the past. Okay, so traditional business intelligence tools are designed to handle a structured database. You can run queries, you can do analysis, you can do whatever you want. It's a database first. But when you look at unstructured data, it has a few parts to the problem. First of all, you don't store it in a database, so you store it somewhere. You need a lot of capacity to store that information. The second part of the problem with big data is you need to define what you want to get out of it. Because database, you know what you can get from it. But when it comes to big data, you've got images, you've got to have your definition on what you want to do with it. So that's the other problem with big data. And I think the biggest issue in the market today is a lot of people have heard about big data. They've seen what some companies, very large organizations could do with big data. They believe they want to get there. It's a long journey, but the real catch is what should the end result look like is not very well known in the market. Okay, so data deluge and big data, I'll repeat again, should not be mixed up. So let me take an example. In the old days, insurance companies used to have databases with records, and then let's say a car has met with an accident, they would get physical copies of photographs and use them for referring additional information. Or if a doctor was working on a particular kind of a challenge with a patient, there would be information which is stored in a beautiful database with comments, but the actual reports would be in the form of physical copies. So what has changed over the years is all of this information has got digitized. So you have that insurance company has a database record, but that record also links into a picture. This is a digital image. So this situation is fundamentally still a database scenario. and this is also growing. Then the second thing that you can think of is companies have PDF files. Training is nowadays done on videos. There are images which are literally filling up their information systems. You cannot define these by default by using the word big data. Most of these can be put into nicely structured databases and managed. So that challenge is different. Big data is big data. You have a lot of information that. So first step to big data is you got to collect that information, put it someplace. So you need storage. The second challenge to the big data is once you have the information, once you've collected it and put it somewhere, you need to define what you want to do with it. So the big data problem is a very complex analytics problem, and that problem needs to be solved by first collecting the information and then figuring out what is that analytics information you're looking for. So if you have a store where you want to see a customer come in and pick up, let's say, diapers and then pick up something which is like a pram, either the customer has a child or is probably on the way to having a child. Now that's a big data challenge because the information is random. You've got pictures, you've got pieces of information of what the customer has bought, but you don't know the end result. So your analytics engine should be able to produce that. On the other hand, the insurance company has all the records. So if they need to run statistics on what is the theft rate or accident rate of, let's say, of a car of a particular color, it's a database warehousing query. So big data should not be mixed up with what is actually a classical database challenge. So big data in India as well as most countries is right now going through a big hype curve. Everybody assumes that a lot of information means big data. The reality is, if it is lying in a nicely structured database, let's say you're a telco and you've got millions of records, they're sitting in a database. It's a data warehousing challenge. You need to have a data warehousing technique and a data warehousing technology to do your analytics on that. On the other hand, if you have the information that I shared with you, you're a retail chain, you've got a lot of information that is there, but you want to figure out what to do with it, that's a big data analytics problem. So the hype curve, customers, some of the customers will go through early adoption cycle, they will figure out what works, what doesn't work, so it will go through the trough before it becomes mature technology. But if you really, our recommendation to customers are that if you're really interested in big data and associated big data challenges, the first step is to just collect all the information and store it somewhere. And also to start thinking, what is it that the end result needs to look like? So that's the key part that we need to do. So when it comes to analyzing big data, you need a lot of nodes. Each node actually stores a bit of information and some metadata for it. And then you probably need hundreds and thousands of those nodes, and you need to run processing on that. The most popular solution today is Hadoop. And then there's a company called Cloudera, and Cloudera is to Hadoop what, say, Red Hat was to Linux. So Hadoop is the open source technology, which is the best way to do it. Once you have the information with you, you could use the technology, and we work with Hadoop. And what Dell is doing is, this being fundamentally open source technology, what customers would need to do is buy services, training to run it, and some consultancy on where they're headed. And we deliver that when we work with Cloudera. The second thing we're doing as Dell is we're actually contributing to the project. So we have a project called Crowbar. So think of it, you have a few thousand servers or a few thousand nodes. You got to configure their BIOS, you got to configure their settings, you got to turn them on, you got to image them, and then you got to patch them. Now that's a key problem that the vendor has to solve. That's a problem that the customer is not going to solve. What the customer needs to do is to figure out what the end result needs to look like. So in order to make this part of the problem simpler for our customers, so we have this project called Crowbar, and we are actually contributing back to the community. And quite a bit of that stuff is actually open source. So when you decide to use Dell platforms, the Crowbar technology just makes your life so much simpler and easier for Hadoop. And Hadoop deployments can grow 10 times, 50 times, 100 times overnight. And that is when you realize that if you chose the right platform and you use the open source characters that we provide through the Crowbar technology, they make your life really easy as the system exponentially grows. So those are the two key initiatives we're doing with Hadoop today.
Okay.
And these are our key initiatives with big data.
Okay.
We also have services and consultancy teams. So if you're thinking of doing Hadoop, we can come in and talk to customers, potential environments, explain what the concept is. So we have a 5-phase technology adoption cycle. We can sit with customers, figure out where exactly they are, where they want to be in 3 years to 5 years from now, and then build out a complete strategy for them that they can deploy.
Okay.
Interesting question, and the only question which doesn't really connect with big data. So our viewpoint on tape is like a lot of other technologies. You know, when someone says technology X is going to die, we usually do not believe that. And that applies to tape drives. So tape drives our belief is tape drives are a solution to a problem that our customers have. Okay, and fundamentally tape drive is a backup device. But our customers have two kinds of challenges that they're trying to solve when they're buying backup solutions. One is you need to have an hourly backup. You know, CIO calls at 11 o'clock and he says, hey, I created a file at 9:30 and I accidentally deleted it. You have a snapshot which could be an hourly backup. You could actually go to the one you took at 10 o'clock and pull it out. So for that kind of a problem, disk-based systems, in fact, simple example is a snapshot, an application where snapshot running on the primary storage is the right solution. Okay. Another example is, so a lot of data that customers want to get back is usually something that is no more than 3 to 5 days old, and we've seen scenarios up to 15 days old. So that sort of information can actually sit on a primary storage. Another environment is customers do like hundreds of backups, and these are full backups. Now, when you're doing a full backup of a terabyte of data every day, you don't need to actually store it in 1 terabyte of space. What you need is 1 terabyte plus some incremental space. So in order to get that right, basically what you need is a dedupe solution. Okay? So these are two examples of backups. But then, if you need to store a lot of information that you may or may not access somewhere very safe, and it's probably going to sit there for years together, there is nothing which is greener than tape. So we believe that tape is another tier. It is not the top tier, it's probably the lowest tier, but it is still needed, and a lot of customers buy it. People have literally grown up using tapes. If everything goes wrong, a lot of customers still believe that they can go back to a tape drive and get their information back. So that is why it is extremely important to understand that it is wrong to say that a particular piece of technology is dead. Tape is not dead. Customers are buying tape drives, and we offer a bunch of tape libraries. But there are complementing technologies to ensure that this hourly need of getting a restoration of data back, or this challenge of getting yesterday's data back, which is usually hard from a tape drive, is complemented by using disk-based technology, snapshots, and dedupe technologies. But if you want to store information for a very long time, if it's archived data that may or may not be accessed, tape is a perfectly fine solution. Tape is definitely not dead.